Let's get back to this trade war that Donald Trump started on the weekend. As I say, it's already cost Australians billions. And this is going to change the world a hell of a lot. I mean, for one, do you think investors or voters are going to have any patience now for wild global warming schemes that cut growth when we've got this tariff war making a lot of countries poorer? Joining me is the country's top foreign affairs writer, Greg Sheridan of The Australian. Greg, good to see you, but tell us, what is Donald Trump's big game here?
Well, Andrew, great to be with you. Look, it's honestly a little hard to know because Trump's modus operandi with the world is that most things are a negotiation. And in a negotiation, you keep your negotiating partner guessing. They don't know what you're going to do. He's actually very good at that, and that can be very effective. It gets some very substantial results for Trump and for America. It is, however, very disturbing to people who rely on American strategic reliability. Now, I wrote in today's paper, and I think the governments of Canada and Mexico will have an overwhelming incentive to placate Trump and to do whatever he wants. I don't think they know what to do to satisfy him. I do think that America has been vastly more sinned against than sinning in the trade world. Most nations which don't practice free trade do it through what are called non-tariff barriers. They don't honestly set up tariffs. They just make it impossible for you to sell your goods there. I mean, when China hurt our trade in various sectors, it generally didn't put up tariffs. It just wouldn't license our products. So a vast number of countries do that around the world. It's a bit like the green stuff. You know, people pay lip service to net zero, just like they pay lip service to free trade, but they don't actually do it. So Trump is being very transparent with what he's doing, but it's still very hard to work out where it ends up, because you can't believe that 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada is a good idea for America in the long run.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think America has been taken for granted. Have just look at how Europe, for instance, spends so little on its defence, hoping that America, expecting America to come to its defence, having spent twice as much proportionally. How should Australia be handling this?
Well, I think, you know, the Albanese government is more or less doing the right thing. Just shut up and, you know, don't draw attention to yourself. You know, hide in the corner and keep quiet. As Judith Sloan commented in your program, we don't do a big trade with America, but we have huge two-way investment, enormous two-way investment. And investment is a much more intimate thing than trade. One of the scandals of our situation is that we are so dependent in trade terms on China. We talk about diversifying our trade, but we don't do anything about it. It's just like we talk about our defence forces, but we don't do anything about them. We now are as dependent on China as we were on Britain before it joined the common market. So we need to diversify away from China, and every time we've thought about doing that, we've made a real mess of it, like the Adani mine that the Indians opened in Queensland. That was a big chance to diversify towards India, but we subjected them to more than a decade of green torture on the whole thing. We can't influence Trump's trade agenda, and we just want to play golf with the president, flatter him, and keep out of his eyesight as much as possible.